What's up? I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and it's Monday, which is the day that I open up my mailbox and answer your questions about copywriting, marketing, business building, and more. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what I would probably choose first. And so I get a lot of questions about, oh, Roy, I'm not in a direct response industry, right? I'm not in like financial publishing or health publishing or like supplements or like all of the industries that are well known for like direct response offers, direct response copywriting, all of that, right? But can I still use direct response as a way to grow my business? Can I use it as part of my marketing strategy? Can I still use response accountable advertising? Can I still use advertising with calls to actions and strong hooks and all of that? And my answer is absolutely. And what I'm going to talk about today, direct response content marketing strategy, is absolutely what I would do in pretty much every single one of those situations. So with that, let's dive in and let's look at today's question. My biggest challenge is that I'm new to marketing and the niche of my company is very specific. We're selling biotech products, and I'm trying to find a marketing strategy for it from M. My biggest challenge is that I'm new to marketing and the niche of my company is very specific. So the biotech products, trying to find a good marketing strategy for it. Now, what I'll say about this is biotech products are inherently complex, right? And I've said it over and over again that complex offers require more copy, right? The more complex the offer is, the more messaging is going to have to go behind it to get someone to believe that this is the solution to their problem, to feel that conviction that's required for them to buy. And so we're talking about complex offers. And when you're dealing with something like an investment newsletter, et cetera, that's why long copy works so well. Not because necessarily the whole process of like investing in a stock is that complex, but why would you choose one specific stock over all the rest of the opportunities available, right? And so that's why you get into this very long copy to sell investment things or to sell some alternative health things or to sell so many different complex offers, whether it's complex to understand the value proposition or complex to make the buying decision or complex to tie the problem to the solution. Long copy tends to work in those markets. Now, in the context of those markets, most often that content comes in the form of a value-first, value-driven pitch, right? So I'm going to teach you about this technology. I'm just have this on the brain. I'm going to teach you about this technology and why it's taking over the world and why it's such a huge opportunity and why it's going to be so big. And then I'm going to give you a way to make money off of the growth of this technology, right? That is content marketing, right? But it is fit into a direct response pitch. It's providing value. It's making the advertising itself valuable, as one of my most important mentors, Gary Bensavinga, taught. Make the advertising itself valuable. That's talking about putting content and education in the advertising while also focusing on persuasion, right? And in any market, including biotech products, having that kind of content, that depth of content, even if it doesn't take the format of like a video sales letter or a long form direct mail piece, it's still incredibly valuable. That's education-based information marketing, right? So it's about providing education and information to your prospects, but it is also marketing, right? And that's where we're going to start talking about the direct response aspect of this, that we're still trying to get people to take action. We're just going to give them a lot of valuable information tied to the offer, tied to the fundamental value proposition of the offer, which is typically going to be solving a problem or fulfilling a desire, right? And so how do we add direct response to content marketing if there really are these two camps, right? There's the content marketers who are just like, I'm all about providing content and people are going to make their own decision. There's direct response, which is I'm all about getting people to take that buying action, right? But how do we tie these two together? Well, it's all about the magical call to action, giving someone an action to take at the end. Even these daily episodes include a call to action at the end that's relevant to the content. And so in some ways, this is an example of a way that you could do direct response content marketing. It's putting a call to action at the end of relevant content. And specifically in the context of something like a complex product, like a biotech product that's targeted at a very specific audience, one of the things that I might do, right, is to put the content as a lead generation offer. And I'm gonna break this all down for you in just a minute. But basically what we're thinking about is every piece of content should, the visitor, the viewer, the person who is engaging with that content is going to come from somewhere, and we want to control that. And they're going to go to somewhere after the content, and we want to control that as much as possible, or at least lay out the path for them. And in some cases, the valuable content can be put behind, for example, an opt-in page, which is, we'll talk about that. And we can actually generate leads with direct response content marketing, right? So here's what this is going to look like. Let's say, let's say I'm going to run a LinkedIn ad that targets people who have a role of CEO at a specific type of company that would be relevant to buy these biotech products, right? Or let's say I come up with a targeted mailing list of the top 100 prospects in my niche that are the ideal prospects. Or let's say I define a Google search term that if somebody's typing it in, they're an ideal prospect for this. I'm going to create some kind of ad or content that is targeted at those ideal prospects, right? And so it could be a direct mail piece, it could be a LinkedIn ad, it could be a Google search ad, it could be, I don't know exactly how you reach these particular prospects, right? But the point is there's some kind of ad or content that's targeted at them. It could just be a YouTube video. It could be anything that they could find online. It could be content that's put into a magazine, any kind of ad or content that's really targeted at those ideal prospects, right? It should speak to a current challenge or desire that they face. And this is going to be related to your product, right? Speaks to the current challenge or desire they face. That ad or content should resonate with your target audience, right? You're creating that content for them to engage with it, right? And it offers a next step. Again, this direct response is all about controlling the next step, the next step, the next step, laying out that path so that if someone is an ideal prospect for your product or service, they're gonna want to take the next step, right? And so maybe there's an in-depth description of this particular aspect of biotech that is maybe a little bit difficult to solve, but your products do a very good job of it, but you don't take the product itself and throw the pitch at them. What you do is you take your biotech engineers' understanding of how to solve the problem and you package that up in content in a way that doesn't necessarily spill all your competitive secrets, right? But that will resonate with the people who are trying to solve that problem and convey that, hey, we understand the solution to this problem. So you offer this valuable content to them in exchange for their email address, their contact information, right? Hey, if you want this report on this, if you want this explainer video of this, if you want this, whatever the content is, if you want to attend a special educational session with our engineers on this, right? You sign up with your name and email address, right? Or maybe more information because it's a B2B sale and it's a little bit more complex. Maybe you're going to ask for, 5 or 6 different things. Maybe there's going to be things like company name, who knows what it is, right? But you can figure out what it takes to qualify an ideal prospect. So they use whatever form you put out there to request that valuable content that teaches them how to address the challenge, right? So it is going to provide value in the content itself, make your advertising itself valuable to your target audience, right? So they request that content that gives them actual value. And the content also includes an offer and a next step for qualified prospects. Now, this is probably a fairly complex B2B sale is my guess, right? And so the offer is not necessarily go to this website and buy it. If it is, okay, it is, great. Maybe the offer is they need to speak with a member of your sales team to do a a conversation about how well the product is a fit with what they're trying to do, right? Or how specifically they can use your customization service of your products to solve whatever problem they have, right? And so your offer, like the offer should not be, hey, talk to our sales team. Your offer should be something like, let us do a needs analysis and determine your best steps for solving this problem. We'll get our experts on the phone. There's no obligation, there's no risk or anything like that. We'll get our experts on the phone to help you solve this problem and determine what the best course of action is for you. Now, part of the skill set that is brought to that conversation is somebody who is able to define a solution and close the sale, right? But the way that the offer is positioned is we're going to help you create a solution, and it does not have to be buying from us, right? But that's what you're doing with this. And if you're using a sales team to sell these products, these services, getting someone on the phone is going to be the next step. And then your sales team is going to come up with a quote. They're going to come up with an action plan. They're going to come up with all of that, and they're going to be able to close it. But the actual responsibilities of marketing here is to capture the attention of your qualified, your ideal prospects, get them engaging with content that indicates that they are a great prospect for your products, and then through that content, getting them motivated to take the next step in the sales process, which is going to be scheduling a call. Now, of course, if the actual process of purchase is a little bit different, you're going to have to customize this to your specific skill set, but that's how you lay out this direct response content marketing strategy, especially for high ticket lead generation. What it ultimately comes down to is your ability to solve a problem for your prospect. And you can do that through content first and through the actual purchase of the products next. So you ask, like, what do they want? What do they need? What are they trying to figure out to get that, right? And you're going to speak to that, right? How can you help them along the path of getting what they want and need, figuring out what they need to figure out, and then how does that path ultimately direct them to your products or services, depending on what it is, right? So we're gonna lay out their path that actually brings them to your products, your services, and you're going to use content, valuable content along the way to get them engaging and following that path. So my call to action for you is to ask yourself and seriously consider, how can you use this in your marketing, in your strategy? How can you apply this? Not can you, but how can you? You can certainly leave a comment with this episode. Let me know. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you get more content like this delivered to you. And I actually did a training that goes way deep into this topic if this is something that is engaging to you. It's called the Value First Funnel Strategy. It's part of my BTMS Insiders training library. So you pay one low monthly fee, you get instant streaming access to everything. The link is in the description to the Value First Funnel Strategy. And if you have a question you'd like to have answered in an upcoming Mailbox Monday episode, there will also be a link there to ask me your question. So with that, I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And hey, if you don't think you can use direct response, I don't think that you've been creative enough, because something like this direct response content marketing strategy is useful pretty much across the board. And so I would encourage you to consider how you can do that. I will catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.